Hello and welcome everybody to my channel Omni Bioentrance, and today we will be discussing Telangana Set Life Science question paper conducted in the year 2023. This is part 3 of the explanation. If you are new to my channel, please do like, share and subscribe. Coming to the first question. Under Darwin hypothesis, evolution has two major features, cladogenesis and dash. It is anagenesis. Option 4. Classification dealing with characteristic of organism that actually have in nature is called as natural classification. So the answer is option 4. Advarks are dash and ruderal habitat occurs in. So advark is a medium-sized burrowing nocturnal mammal native to Africa. It is the only living species of the order Tubulidentata. If you know that, you will get the correct option. So answer is option 1. And ruderal habitat, it occurs in village complex. So the answer is option 1. The next one. The most common holocephaly is chimera and rhinocephalian inhabit in New Zealand. So the answer is option 3. The next one. The cell organelle involved in the protection from molecular oxygen is peroxisomes. Answer is option 3. These are direct questions. The next one. Tropical wet evergreen forest. So it is in Nilgiri Hills. Subtropical pine forest. It is in Kumaon Hills. Tropical dry deciduous forest is in Chota Nagpur, and tropical thorn forest is in Coimbatore. So the answer here is option 1. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1 and 4, 4. Answer is option 1. Then Bandipur Wildlife Sanctuary, established in 1941, which has an area of 874 square kilometers. The sanctuary has animals like elephants, panther, barking deer, leopard and sloth bear. The sanctuary is located in which of the following states? So the question is, where is Bandipur Sanctuary located? So it is located in Karnataka. Answer is option 4. Then, in India, the concept of sacred groves originated. So, what are sacred groves? These are groves of trees that have special religious importance within a particular culture. So, it originated during the time of pre-agrarian hunter-gathering period. Answer is option 3. Which country started Ramsar Convention? So Ramsar Convention, it is a convention on wetlands that was signed in 1971 in the Iranian city of Ramsar. So which country started Ramsar Convention? It was Iran. Answer is option 2. Then next one. Column 1 and column 2. Match the following. Vertebrate species. Vertebrate species, home for dung beetles. Coral reefs change the flow rate of water. Beavers, they alter hydrology of water bodies, and termite mounds, they alter the topography of any given area. So the answer here is option 3, 1C, 2A, 3D and 4B. Then next one. The type of association found between honeybee and entomophilous flower. So here they have given the answer as coevolution, but as per me the answer is mutualism. Why, I will tell you. Now coevolution is of two types, that is mutualism and symbiosis. In mutualism, the species interact with each other but they do not live together. Whereas in symbiosis, the two species live together. Here it is just mutualism and not coevolution, because honeybee and entomophilous flowers, they interact with each other but they do not live together. So it is just mutualism. It is not coevolution, because coevolution will include both symbiosis and mutualism. Here only one is correct, so it is mutualism. as per me. Then invasive species. So an invasive species, it is an introduced species to an environment that becomes overpopulated and harms its new environment. So that is called as invasive species. Identify the correct statements. So it can outcompete the native species, that is correct. Can increase biodiversity, no, it decreases the biodiversity in the given area. Are fast growing, yes. Produce allelopathic compounds, yes. So answer is option 4, that is 1, 3 and 4. Then next one. Ecosystem produce are consumed by decomposers and detrivores. That is correct. Energy does not flow in a cyclic fashion in an ecosystem. That is also correct. But it doesn't have any explanation for assertion. So both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Then next one. Saprophytes play a vital role in the ecosystem. Yes, of course. The last organism to occupy the food chain is saprophytic organism. Saprophytes are accorded highest level in food web or food chain. Saprophytes do not occupy the food chain in terms of energy transfer, but they are crucial in maintaining the food chain. So they are not accorded any highest level also. They are the last organism to occupy the food chain. So A is true but R is false. Answer is option. Primary succession in water take place in the following order. So primary succession in which plants and animals first colonize a barren, lifeless habitat. So here it is water. Primary succession in water. So it is phytoplanktons will be the pioneers, then rooted submerged plants, rooted floating angiosperms, free floating plants, reed swamp, marsh meadow, trees and forest, that is climax. So the answer is option 1. Then next one. Identify the correct sequence of steps in the nitrogen cycle. So atmospheric nitrogen, then lightening, rain wash, nitrification, assimilation, ammonification, denitrification. Answer is option 3. Changes in water temperature has significant influence on coral species ability to construct interconnected reefs. Okay. Coral polyps are fed by photosynthetic zooxanthellae, an algal member that inhabits the endodermis of the polyp. Okay. At sea water temperatures below 18 degrees, zooxanthellae cannot thrive. Coral bleaching results from zooxanthellae leaving coral tissues when water temperatures rise over 35 degrees Celsius. According to Shelford's law of tolerance, the organism's wide environmental factor tolerance limits shows. So whether it is wide distribution or a narrow distribution or a low population size or a high population size. This is what you have to make out from the question. So according to Shelford's law, species that are able to withstand high stress, they will have greater area of distribution as well as a large population size. But here, coral reefs prosper only within a very narrow range of temperatures. They have given at sea water temperature below 18 degrees, zooxanthellae cannot thrive. So these zooxanthellae, they will start leaving the coral tissue and it will result in bleaching of the coral tissue. When water temperatures rise over 35 degrees Celsius. So they have only a narrow range of temperature. So they have narrow distribution with low population size. So answer here is option 2. Which scientist proposed that ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny in his theory? That is Ernest Haeckel. Answer is option. In his experimental study, Miller successfully synthesized simple amino acids from hydrogen, methane, ammonia and water vapor. Answer is option 1. Lack of oxygen on Earth has resulted in diminishing atmosphere. However, if subsequently underwater underwent a transformation into an oxidizing entity as a result of the emergence of cyanobacteria. Answer is option 3. Then balancing selection is specifically pertaining with successful reproduction of. So balancing selection, the major mechanisms for balancing selection is heterozygous advantage and frequency dependent selection. Heterozygous advantage is an individual who is heterozygous for a particular gene locus has greater fitness than a homozygous individual. And frequency dependent selection, the relative fitness of a specific phenotype declines if the frequency of that phenotypes become too high. So here in the question they have told only about heterozygous individuals and not frequency dependent selection. So the answer here is option 3. Match the following. Column 1 with column 2. Darwin. Darwin is natural selection. This is very easy. Lamarck is use and disuse theory. Mendel is again laws of heredity and Oparin is origin of life. So I 3, 2, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2. Answer is option 1. Then the Hardy-Weinberg principle states that allele frequencies within a population remain stable and constant across successive generations. That is correct. Next one. Reason. Evolution would be thought to have resulted from a disturbance in Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium or genetic equilibrium. That is also correct. But that doesn't explain Hardy-Weinberg principle. So both A and R are true and R is not the correct explanation of A. Then next one. Which of the following statement regarding the prediction of the neutral theory of molecular evolution is supported by evidence? So neutral theory of molecular evolution, it tells that evolutionary changes occur at the molecular level and most of the variations within and between species are due to random genetic drift of the mutant alleles that are selectively neutral. So molecular evolutionary neutral theory of molecular evolution, it is supported by the evidence that humans and chimps differ more in DNA sequences in pseudogenes than in functional genes. Answer is option 1. Then next one. X-ray crystallography provides information about the dash of DNA but is limited because dash of the DNA. The technique is based on the pattern of dash of the atoms in the molecule. X-ray crystallography provides information about the dimensions of DNA but is limited because of molecular weight of the DNA. The technique is based on the pattern of diffraction of atoms in the molecule. This was another direct question. Then next one, you have to match these enzymes with the type of activity. Now Clino DNA polymerase 1 lacks 5' 3' exonuclease activity. T4 DNA polymerase lacks 5' to 3' exonuclease activity. T3 RNA polymerase DNA dependent RNA polymerase. RNase H used in the second strand cDNA synthesis. So the answer is option 3, that is 1, 4, 2, 2, 3, 1 and 4, 3. Now again match the following. Restriction endonucleases, they were by Werner Arber. DNA fingerprinting by Alec Jeffreys. Polymerase chain reaction by Carey Muller and monoclonal antibodies by Kohler and Milstein. This was very easy. So the answer is option 1, 1, 4, 2, 3, 3, 1 and 4, 2. Now next one. The light source for visible and UV part of the spectrophotometer is dash and dash. So it is for UV visible and UV part of spectrophotometer. Tungsten filament bulb and deuterium bulb. So 1 and 3 is the answer. The major cause of genetic drift is, so genetic drift is change in allele frequencies in a population from generation to generation that occurs due to chance events. So major cause of genetic drift is change in allele frequency. Answer is option 4. Corn is immersed in boiling water. If it is cooled, then the solution becomes sweet. Why is it due to? So answer here is conversion of disaccharides to monosaccharides. So disaccharides are formed when two monosaccharides are joined together and a molecule of water is removed. As a result of this, glycosidic bonds are formed and the process is known as dehydration reaction. Now when this glycosidic bond breaks, the monosaccharides are liberated and corn after boiling gets the sweetness. So conversion of disaccharide to monosaccharide is the answer. Answer is option 2. Then the cells isolated from an animal become senescent after a limited number of divisions in culture. But the cell lines used in experimental cell biology are able to proliferate indefinitely in culture. This is due to the fact that because they undergo mutation that abolish cell senescence. Now cell lines, they have acquired the ability to proliferate indefinitely is either through random mutation as in transformed cancer cell lines or by deliberate modification such as artificial expression of cancer genes. So here they have told on mutations that abolish cell senescence is the answer. Answer is option 2. Then next one. The physical significance of specific growth rate constant is grams of cells formed per gram cell mass per unit time. Answer is option 3. The process of phytoremediation where complexation and immobilization of toxin take place within the soil is called as phytodegradation. Answer is option 2. Then activation induced deaminases AID catalyzes the conversion of dash in both the class switch combination and somatic hypermutation. So activation induced deaminase is an enzyme that is predominantly expressed in germinal center B cells and it plays a role in immunoglobulin class switch recombination and somatic hypermutation for antibody maturation. So this AID enzyme catalyzes the conversion of cytosine to uracil in the variable region and switch regions of immunoglobulin genes. Answer is option 1. Then next one. The optimal recognition site is a single site that is sensitive to commonly used restriction enzymes. Yes, that's correct. In PBR322, foreign DNA is ligated in close proximity of the BAMH1 site of the tetracycline resistance gene. That is also correct. But that doesn't explain the assertion. So both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Then next one. T cells actively engage in type 4 hypersensitivity reaction. That's correct. Type 4 hypersensitivity reactions are characterized by cell-mediated immune response. That is also correct, but it doesn't explain the assertion. So both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Identify the correct match of the ion channel with affected gene and associated disease. Ca2+, calcium ion, PKD1, polycystic kidney disease. Na+, SCN4A gene, paramyotonia congenita, acetylcholine receptor, CHRNA1 gene, congenital myasthenic syndrome, CL-1, ABCC7 gene cystic fibrosis. Now, if you know CL-1 is causing cystic fibrosis, that itself will give you the correct answer. If you don't know the others also. So, I2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 4 and 4, 3 are the answers. Volume of sample loaded on a microarray chip is picoliter. Answer is option 1. Mitochondria are pelleted if you centrifuge the liquid at 20,000 G for 20 minutes. Option 3. Dash generate a characteristic signature resonance when stimulated with an alternating current. Piezoelectric crystals. Answer is option 1. So that's it. Thank you for watching my channel. Please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.